In today's Leeds news, Shearer backs Leeds for safety, Leeds weekend results, extended deal and award for Mahadi, loan watch, Orta get out chance, and Pablo inflicts damage, and Rumour mill back page stories. Folks, welcome to the Leeds View, Monday the 9th of February with your Leeds United news. Hope your weekend went well. Nice when Leeds get 3 points on the board as well in a huge game on the road tomorrow night against Chelsea. Daniel Farke's press conference is taking place before this video does go out. We will have a reaction to that press conference over on bigup.com. If you want to come over and join us there, you can. It's completely free to join. There's no ads. Just sign up and you're there. And there's also our weekly predictions game that happens over there as well, and that'll be set up for tomorrow night's game as well. Also, Leeds United having a 55%, up to 55% sale off of the shirts for this season, home, second and third kit. You can check that out, the links below. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are right now. We'll have a watch along tomorrow night over on bigup.com as well. And we did have an instant match, well, not an instant match reaction, a day later match reaction to the Leeds United win over Nottingham Forest as well. That's available in the video tab on the channel. We'll crack on with today's news. There's lots of little bits of news floating around today rather than anything major, but we'll get stuck into it. Start off with Alan Shearer's thoughts on Leeds United. Former England striker and match of the day pundit Alan Shearer believes that Leeds United will survive this season in the relegation battle and secure another season in the Premier League. Shearer points to Leeds United's excellent home record this season and believes that Leeds will have enough just from home record alone to survive in the Premier League. And as strong as it is, you could probably do getting a couple of points on the road as well. But Shearer believes Leeds will have enough. Daniel Farke's record at Elland Road under the lights at Leeds is something else. Leeds have played 21 games with Farke as manager under the floodlights. Won 18, drawn 3, lost none. And also 75% of Leeds United's total points this season have come at Elland Road. And as I say, you'd like to pick up a few more points on the road over the rest of a couple of games to try and just make it a bit easier heading into the season. But Alan Shearer believes Leeds will have enough, and speaking on Match of the Day, he said the following: "Surely Tottenham can't get pulled into the relegation battle. They're going to have to start winning games sharpish. West Ham, I still think just, and I can hear fans screaming at me, Leeds will be alright, I think, because of the home form. They're really strong at home. This season, the general belief around the place is that 40 points will be needed to stay in the Premier League. Leeds at this point now need 11 points from the remaining 13 games, while West Ham will need 17. And the next 3 games for Leeds won't be straightforward. We've got Chelsea, as we said, tomorrow night away. Then we're away to Aston Villa as well, and then Manchester City at home. But West Ham also have a couple of tricky games. They've got Manchester United, Bournemouth and Liverpool in their next 3. And if Leeds can pick up a couple of points on the road in the games against Villa and Chelsea, no reason why we can't, it could just make things a little bit easier. But that little gap that we've got right now, although it would be nicer at 9 points, it's still manageable for Leeds right now. So as it sits right now, we're not a bad position to be in, and still very much in Leeds United's hands. We will have the podcast tonight as well, Paul and Jerry, to have a little bit of a look back at the game of the weekend and just see where we are and react to Daniel Farke's comments as well heading in to tomorrow's night. So kind of a review and a preview all in one. Let's crack on. Let's get into the Leeds weekend results. Leeds under-21s lost out 3-0 away to Manchester City. Leeds had Ilan Meslier in goal for the under-21s, although he couldn't make much of an impact in that game. Pretty tough match for them, but Manchester City are probably by a mile the strongest side in the EPL 2 at this point. Leeds women 1-1 draw with Cheadle Town. Drew Green with a lovely back flick to get the goal for Leeds United to give them an early lead. And they currently sit second in Division 1 North, just 1 point behind the top side, and have a game in hand, so still very much in their hands. Leeds United under-18s had a 3-2 away win at Derby County. New signing Edward Ibrahimovic-Fletcher scoring on his debut, a really nice goal as well, and Tom Stockton and Oliver Bennett also on the score sheet for the under-18s. We will have a segment out probably Thursday this week or into early next week where we start to have a little bit of a look at the players coming up through the academy ranks, even younger than the 18s, and see who are the ones to maybe just keep an eye on over the next couple of years. Ibrahimovic-Fletcher, hell of a goal on his debut and a great impact for him to make since joining the club. Let's move on. Let's talk about an extended deal for Rory Mahady. So yeah, speaking of young players and ones to watch, Leeds United on loan goalkeeper Rory Mahady is having a hell of a time during his loan at Scunthorpe. He's had extended deals month after month after month, but now has got a bit more structure around the remainder of his season. Mahady has now agreed a deal with Scunthorpe until the end of this season, which will put an end to this single month extensions that he has been dealing with right now and give him a chance to focus on his football. Mahady also picked up Scunthorpe's Man of the Match award for their 1-0 win. An excellent performance in that game as well. He's been very highly rated, as we know. He's been getting a lot of plaudits. while at Scunthorpe, but he has been splitting his time between Leeds United and Scunthorpe, and right now this will give him a chance to concentrate on at least where he's going to be until the end of the season. I'm not sure if he can still come back and play for under-21. I think he probably can as part of a youth loan, if that is still the case, but we'll likely see him pop up in goal for the under-21 at some point between now and the end of the season. So well done to him. Let's get into the rest of the loan watch players. I'm going to start off with Jack Harrison. Harrison started on the bench for Fiorentina, but came on in the 48th minute to get an assist for their second goal in a 2-2 home draw with Torino. Mateo Joseph was on the bench for Mallorca, but came on in the 62nd minute in their 3-0 away defeat to Barcelona. Isaac Schmidt was an unused substitute for Werder Bremen in their 1-0 away loss to Freiburg. Max Verber is still out injured, so no participation in the game for him. Larry Ramazani started on the bench for Valencia in their 2-0 home loss to Real Madrid. He came on in the 81st minute. Harry Gray started in Rotherham's 3-0 away defeat to Cardiff. He came off just before the end of the match in injury time. Rory Mahady, as we said, manned the match performance for Scunthorpe in their 1-0 win over Southend United. Another goalkeeper, Alex Baird, saved his first senior penalty in Bridlington Town's 3-1 win against Dunstan. Devin Brocky was on the bench for Cleethorpes Town in their 4-1 home win over Warrington Town. And Joe Gelhardt started and played 90 minutes for Hull City in their 3-2 home loss to Bristol City. Gelhardt registered an assist for Hull's second goal. So nice to see Joffy back amongst the GNA after his lengthy spell out with an injury and a bench week for pretty much most of the loanees this week, which won't be ideal. But Jack Harrison getting his first assist or goal involvement in a while and in the Fiorentina shirt. So there we go. Let's move on to the major story of the day before we get into a bit of the back page rumour stuff. And it's Victor Orta and Pablo Hernandez going head to head, and very mixed fortunes for both. As I say, a very mixed reaction and afternoon for two former Leeds United personalities. Pablo Hernandez is working wonders with Castellon after he took the job on a permanent basis after a very successful interim period. And this weekend, his side beat Victor Orta's side, Valladolid, 4-0 away and inflicted a pretty resounding defeat. And also, a familiar sound was heard coming from the stands in the direction of Victor Orta. After the game, the Valladolid supporters could be heard chanting, "Get out of the club," a similar chant that Victor Orta heard during the end of his time at Sevilla, and I suppose some similar sentiment towards him that was given towards him by Leeds fans towards the end of his stint there. So he continues to become and be a controversial character at football clubs, and Valladolid fans are keen to see him leave the club as they currently sit in 18th place in La Liga 2. Castellon, on the other side, are 1 point clear at the top of La Liga 2, and since Hernandez has taken over the club, they've gone from strength to strength. They've clocked up 10 wins in their last 14 games with just one defeat during that. Puts them 1 point ahead of Real Racing Club and again 2 points ahead of Deportivo La Coruña. So in a very, very strong position there. Pablo doing a really, really good job. Maybe one for Leeds to keep an eye on in the future. You never know. Pablo back at Leeds at some point down the road as a Leeds United manager, but he's done really, really well. He has gone up through the ranks after moving up from their second team into the main job. Took it on an interim basis at the beginning, did a good job there. Took it on a permanent basis now, and they're flying, absolutely flying, and could get promoted to La Liga for next season, which would be a hell of an achievement for Castellon. Let's move on. Let's get into the rumour mill back pages. And I told you we would keep an eye on all of the links and rumours and back page nonsense that goes on between now and the end of the season. And we'll see then which of these end up actually being true and turning into being Leeds United players potentially come the summer. The one to talk about today comes from Africa Foot, and it's related to Charleroi midfielder Yassine Titraoui. And they claim that Leeds United are keeping an eye on the player ahead of the summer window. Titraoui's agent is said to be the main factor in this and leading the charge to get the player moved to the Premier League. Africa Foot claimed that the player changing agency reflects his desire as well to change clubs and get a move to the Premier League this summer. And Leeds United are said to be one of the clubs monitoring the player at this point, and he could be available in the summer for a relatively low fee. This season, Titraoui has played 22 games for Shearer. He scored 4 goals. And his passing stats are decent. I suppose he does fit into one of the brackets Leeds will look for in the summer. He's got an 85% passing accuracy, 82% passing accuracy in the opposition half. So it's decent there as well. But it also should be pointed out, Leeds' record of bringing players in from the Belgian Pro League, they haven't all worked out particularly well, especially at the last couple of years anyway. So that could be a factor in this as well. But he is also seen as a player with very good defensive traits as well. A hard-working player. Does win an awful lot of his duels. But I think right now we stick this in the rumour mill pile and we'll see where it comes by the end of the season. But yeah, right now, doesn't seem exactly what Leeds will be looking for, but you never know. But as I said, what we'll do is we'll make a list of all these players We'll check back at towards the end of the season and we'll see which of these news agencies are credible coming into the summer and who says what, and if any of these actually end up being players on Leeds United shortlist. 49ers have said before they tend to get their players ready 6 months in advance. So we're in that period of time right now for the summer. I suppose Leeds need to secure their Premier League future first before they can then move into actually getting these deals done and attracting these players. But we'll see how it goes. We'll keep tracking them. They're all rumours at this point, so, don't put too much stock in it right now. We'll see where they are come the end of the season. Folks, that'll be it for me this morning. I'm back over on bigup.com in about an hour or two for a bit of a press conference reaction and a chat there. And then you can check out the podcast back on YouTube tonight. Myself, Paul and Jerry, for a little bit of look ahead to tomorrow's game against Chelsea. Outside of that, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. See you later. Bye.